this Florida Derby day, remember to sign up with DRF Bets.
Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 8 at Gulfstream Park on Florida Derby Saturday is the Grade 3 Ghostzapper Stakes, formerly known as the Howell's Hope. Let's take a peek at this field. Older horses going 1 1/8 on the main track, and Last Judgment, the number 1, Mike, might very well be the horse to catch and beat. Throw out the Pegasus World Cup 2 starts back. A, he was overmatched in that race. B, he was a last-minute entrant wheeling back on a week. And you got a horse that's coming off 2 big fig wins on the lead.
Yeah, it didn't help him too back either that they tried to go after Nick Go on the lead in the Pegasus World Cup. It didn't work out. But you're right, Dan. The Sunshine Millions score was pretty good. I felt like he might have had something to prove there as they stretched him out for the first time in a while. He showed good speed. He crushed that field. He came right back, and he looked good winning that Grade 3 last time.
He's going to be facing a familiar rival in Warstopper, who finished 3rd to Last Judgment last time out. We take a look at the Timeform US pace projector, and they're the 2 main pace protagonists. Last Judgment on the inside, Warstopper to the outside. I think the pace will be moderate. It might come down to staying power, 1 1/8. Good for both these horses, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. I didn't necessarily feel like the pace had to be fast in here. That probably is to Last Judgment's advantage, Dan. He's shown that he can go to the front and keep going. 1 1/8 feels like it's no problem for him.
Let's watch Last Judgment's recent graded stakes victory over Warstopper in the Challenger at Tampa Bay Downs 3 weeks ago. I love the ride Daniel Centeno gave this horse. He took the race to them. He kept him off the rail all the way. We see Warstopper. He kind of got stuck down in there and never really got a chance to get to the outside. Warstopper was just much the best on this day.
Yeah, he was much the best in here. He did get the better trip of the 2, I guess. I mean, I guess if you want to go back and maybe nitpick a little bit and say, and try to make an excuse for Warstopper, Warstopper didn't break that great from the gate, and I think it sort of left him in chase mode most of the way. So maybe that made the difference, Dan. We'll see if he can make up the gap, because last time when they ran against each other, Last Judgment was much better.
Eye of a Jedi, the number 2, is a real overachiever, a locally based horse in South Florida. He has earned 2 graded stakes placings this meet at double-digit odds at Gulfstream. And last time out, he ran just fine in the Gulfstream Park Mile. He ran 4th that day against a pretty good field. I'm not sure about the 1 1/8, Mike.
Yeah, I'm worried about that too. But man, I just can't really overlook this horse in this race, Dan, because he's run so well in his last 3 starts against much better horses than this. Maybe the distance will find him out in this race, but if it doesn't, he could easily win.
Just Whistle took advantage of a big pace to finish 2nd in this race, again when it was known as the Howell's Hope in 2020. This is going to be his 2nd start off of a long layoff, and I think he probably benefited from his most recent race, a 1-turn mile. There are 2 things you know about Just Whistle. He wants distance. This distance is what he wants, but he also needs a lot of pace. He doesn't have much early speed.
Yeah, I worry that this race won't set up that well for him, and that could be a problem, because you're right, he does want to sit back and make one run. When he ran so well in this race last year, he got a huge pace to run at, and he did well with it. We'll see if it sets up for him, Dan. Off the layoff last time, I thought he ran fine. He bumped at the start there. He got outrun early. They took him to the outside, and he ran on through the stretch.
Mike, do you think the connections will be a little aggressive with the 4 Superfecto, a lightly raced 4-year-old by constitution? This is a horse, in both of his wins, he's been right up close to the pace. I'm not sure he has Last Judgment speed, but I wonder if he tries to get up there and maybe split Last Judgment and Warstopper early.
Yeah, I feel like they should go forward with him here too, Dan. I think it's probably the only chance that he has. The 1 1/8 is a little bit of an unknown, but I think they found a pretty good spot here to test this horse. They didn't throw him into the deep end here. It's a graded stakes race, but it's not a super strong one. He broke his maiden around 2 turns over this track while getting right up close to the pace, and I thought he ran pretty well last time, Dan. That was a race. That's the same race that Just Whistle's coming out of. That was a big closer's race. I mean, the pace was solid. This horse was close to it. I thought he ran on pretty well.
Bullet workout leading up to this. I think he's going to show improvement in his 3rd off the layoff. King Slew's 20-1 on the morning line. This horse is a Group 1 winner in his native Argentina. He beat 2 next out Group 1 winners in that race. Luckily, he was a Group 1 winner that was disqualified from first. He actually finished ahead of 2 next out Group 1 winners in that race. They ran him on turf in his first start off with a long layoff, his first start of North America. That trip didn't exactly work out for him. I think he's a little bit underrated.
Yeah, he probably is. I don't think you want to be too hard on him for the turf race. The only time they ran him on turf back at his home base, he was terrible in that race too. So he's probably a dirt horse. He's going to switch surfaces here. He's going to be a big price.
Warstopper 2-4-2 at Gulfstream Park this winter. We saw him finish third in the Challenger. As Mike mentioned, away a little bit slow that day. I just didn't like the fact that he was kind of buried on the inside. I'm not sure if that was really the place to be. We're going to find out how good he is because it's Pletcher and Arad. You know he's going to take money. Maybe he's an underlay based on the last race where, again, he was no match for Last Judgment.
Yeah, if you feel like he had enough of an excuse, you might want to go back to him here. But I think you made the salient point there, Dan. He's not going to be that much of a price, even with, finishing 4 lengths behind Last Judgment last time. Personally, I think he could easily turn the tables. His race 2 back over the stretch, I thought he ran really well there. He was wide all the way around the track and still won.
Violent City completes this field. Blinkers on for the Ian Wilkes trainee, and he needs a little something to spur some improvement. He's a little light on the buyer scale.
Yeah, I just don't see the race that makes him that competitive in here, Dan. And he didn't run well last time, I didn't think.
Top pick time for the Grade 3 Ghostzapper. Don't really love this race as a betting race. I do think Warstopper is going to get a better trip this time around. I think he likes Gulfstream Park. I think he's going to sit a 3-wide stalking Journey and Attack. Going to be hard to beat Last Judgment, though. He is way the horse to beat. He's my second pick. I have to use him.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Last Judgment. He's just on a good roll right now, and he's probably going to get the trip that he wants in here. I thought about putting Superfecto on top. I thought he was sort of the interesting alternative to the favorites. We'll see.
1425 for Mike, 6143 for me, and the Grade 3 Ghostzapper Stakes at Gulfstream on Florida Derby Saturday.